Empyre has been one of the most anticipated events of this year, and it's finally gearing up. With all sorts of threats revealing themselves and being hinted at on the way into this big fray, we thought it might be a good idea to talk a little bit more about some of the need-to-know things that have happened thus far and their potential repercussions in the long run with Marvel's summer event, Empyre. Welcome back, Nerd Squad. If this is the first you're hearing of Empyre and you want to know what it's all about, here is a little briefing for you before we jump in. Empyre is a Marvel crossover event that is massive with tons of tie-ins. Almost everyone in the Marvelverse is getting in on this one. Over the past few months, everything has been building to a boiling point that we are finally at, with Empyre 1 kicking everything into high gear and Empyre issue 2 continuing this epic event from there. The basic premise is that the Kree and Skrull have united together to create the Alliance and are gearing up for an attack and heading to Earth. Why? What? How? Well, those are all the questions the ramp up and event attempts to delve into and answer, giving us the story of what will happen and also why any of this is happening in the first place. Today we'll be helping you to fill in some of those blanks as we count down the top 10 Marvel Empyre event facts you need to know. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. Masked Raider. You may have noticed a mysterious figure pop up in this event near the beginning, the Masked Raider. We don't know yet if this is the same Masked Raider that we were first introduced to though. Probably not, unless he was resurrected, as the original Masked Raider was Jim Gardley, a cattle rancher equipped with the Eternity Mask who first appeared in Marvel Comics issue 1 in 1939, and he has since died. He got shot a bunch. The Eternity Mask grants whoever wields it enough power to allow them to equal those they come up against. The Masked Raider appeared right at the beginning of the ramp up of this event, tied into a murder mystery needing to be solved, which sets up some of the exposition for Empyre in incoming issue number 1. It has also been teased that we'll be getting a new Masked Raider title in 2020. The true identity of this Masked Raider remains unknown thus far, but what we do know is a man named Jerome Hamilton, possibly a reference to vigilante Blind Justice, most likely this is Blind Justice who we're talking about, was the one responsible for giving this version of the character the Eternity Mask. Unless there's another Jerome Hamilton just wandering around, which there could be. Who knows? Could be a common name on Earth. Number 9. Null. Empyre really is an event that was ambitious. Due to the global pandemic, some of the tie-ins have had to be cancelled, but originally this event was going to be one of the biggest yet, and even with the cancellations, it's still huge. Almost everyone is involved in this event, including the weird god of the symbiotes from space, Null. It seems that Null is declaring a space war of his own. Having been awakened following the events of Absolute Carnage, he is rampaging across the galaxy currently with an army of symbiotic dragons that used to be one entity known as the sentient symbiotic planet known as Clintar. However, he himself is also likely to have some kind of interaction with at least one member of the Kree at some point, as he is being hunted by Wraith, an Exolon-infected Kree assassin named Zach Dell. Number 8. Conflict with Atlantis. Another thing that you might want to understand if you haven't been as involved or up to speed with the Avengers lately and what's been going on with Namor and Atlantis is that right now the people of the sea and the people of the land aren't really getting along so well. The feud is one that started and has kind of continued and been on and off since 2018, when Namor blamed the surface for the death of young Atlanteans who had run away and suffocated on the surface world, with no humans offering to help them. How rude. They died, those poor young Atlanteans. And Namor decided he'd had it. He declared war. And since then things have been rocky between the Avengers and Atlantis. And just between Atlantis and the surface world even. The Earth being as divided as it is right now could prove for some challenging times ahead when all the galactic threats that we're expecting finally arrive. Cause you know, you kinda wanna be unified for that stuff. Number 7. Mephisto. Mephisto has also been considered a huge threat during this time. We don't know what exactly he's been planning, but we do know that Moon Knight and Khonshu consider him to be a big threat. And Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze was also in pursuit of him near the beginning of the Empyre event, but instead of wanting him gone, he just wanted some answers from him. For those who haven't been keeping up with Ghost Rider, something else you need to know going into Empyre is that Johnny Blaze has currently taken over as the King of Hell, and is sporting some pretty sweet horns currently as a result. Later it's revealed that Moon Knight, who has been taking weapons, items, and powers from his fellow heroes, has been doing so in an effort to go after a great threat, later revealed to be at least in part Mephisto, because Khonshu has urged him to do so. In fact, it's implied Khonshu seems to want to take Mephisto's place potentially in some way. What we still don't know is what Mephisto or Khonshu have been plotting, and if there are still more threats that Moon Knight plans on neutralizing. Number 6. Killer Trees. What if I just left it there and I was like, that's all you need to know, there's killer trees. Now, I'll explain it to you, sorry about that. You may have noticed some trees sprouting up inside people and killing them. What are these trees? Where did they come from? We later find out that these trees are part of the reason that Skrull and Kree are joining together to attack Earth, as these killer trees are actually connected to the Kotati. The Kotati are a sentient and secretive tree people. They are from Hala and actually evolved alongside the Kree. While Kree are aggressive and focused on domination, Kotati are normally a peaceful people. Years ago, the Skrull arrived on Hala and offered a technology exchange, or really a gift of technology, as the Skrull have pretty much always been pretty technologically advanced. To see which race was more worthy of their technology, they had a competition. 17 members from each race were placed on the blue area of the moon and forced into a competition to see who could advance more quickly. This would end up leading to a feud between the Kree and Kotati, and later the Skrull and the Kotati, which would end up causing the Kotati to become somewhat aggressive, believing that they had suffered many injustices at the hands of both of these races, which, to be fair, it kinda sounds like they have. In Empyre Avengers issue number 0, we discover that the Kotati are plotting to seek revenge on the Kree and Skrull empires, but also potentially seek to exterminate all animal life as well, including all life on Earth. What? Number 5. The Alliance. The Kree and Skrulls have come together. I know! Say what? Aren't they supposed to be sworn enemies? Yes! Yes they are. The Skrull and Kree have feuded on and off since what feels like forever, but this time they unite to take on a common enemy, the Celestial Messiah, also known as Sequoia or Koya, and his allies, the Kotati. Empyre Fantastic Four issue 0 also served to remind us that the Kree/Skrull war had also obviously previously ended, and now as such Skrull and Kree have come to Earth and Earth's moon, where this feud started years ago, in order to defeat their enemies. Earth somehow seems to always be the center of honestly almost every cosmic war or disaster. 'Cause comics. Number 4. Hammers. Okay, so this might not be as needed to know as some of the other points here, but it's really cool, and it's the cool stuff that helps get people interested in events, so I thought it was important that I share it with you. Hammers are becoming a thing again in Empyre issue 1, and while yes, we've seen other heroes wield them like Thor and Ronan, and then there was the Fear Itself event where lots of people were wielding hammers, good and bad, this time around we get one new really cool one. This hammer is gifted to She-Hulk by the Kotati and allows She-Hulk to literally channel her rage through her hammer so that she can be herself and focus once more. So once again we get the brilliance that is Jennifer Walters combined with the strength and power that is Hulk. Yes! Number 3. Avengers vs Fantastic Four. Well, I mean, not so much versus, I guess. These two aren't really fighting one another directly, but we do learn in Empyre number 1 that both of these different teams have different approaches when it comes to what they consider the best move is here for how to handle all the chaos that is coming at them in this Empyre event. Fantastic Four take a more diplomatic approach, trying to negotiate initially, while Avengers are gearing up to smash things with some of those sweet hammers we just talked about. Smash. Number 2. The Celestial Messiah. So who is the Celestial Messiah anyway? Sequoia has only made a few brief appearances, so most of us likely didn't recognize him when he was mentioned in Empyre Avengers issue number 0. But despite the fact that he has only appeared just over a dozen times in the comics since his introduction and later full appearance in the 80s, first in Silver Surfer and later in Fantastic Four, Koya is prophesied to be the bearer of great change in the universe. A Kotati prophecy predicted the coming of a Celestial Messiah who will grow to have great power and sway over the universe, and be born of a perfect male member of the Kotati and their perfect mate. In this case, it is revealed that the perfect female mate turns out to be Mantis of Guardians of the Galaxy, who agreed to take part in the prophecy and become the bearer of the Celestial Messiah, taking up her role in the prophecy as the Celestial Madonna. Since being born, Sequoia grew and developed various superpowers, even managing to connect and tap into the power cosmic as he grew older. Number 1. Division of Heroes? While the Kree and Skrull are uniting and coming together, they need someone to lead this hybrid army. For the role of ruler and leader of their assault, they ended up choosing Avenger member Hulkling, aka Teddy Altman, who happens to be the son of a Kree warrior, the famous and original Captain Marvel, and the Skrull Princess Anel. What does this mean? It is possible that Teddy also being on Earth and being raised there could lead to either more division amongst Earth's heroes, or even more division internally within the Skrull and Kree alliance. Of course, this could also seek to unite all three factions together, but then again, the Avengers seem to be pretty close with the Katati right now. Only time will tell how having Hulkling assume the role of ruler and taking back his Skrull name of Prince Dorek VIII will affect what happens in the story and crossover event as it unfolds. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. Are you excited for Empyre? Have you been following along? Or are you more excited for the Dawn of X-Men event coming this fall? 10 of Swords. Let us know in the comments below. And while you're on your way down there, be sure to smash that subscribe if you haven't already and ring our bell. You know I love it when you do. This has been Top 10 Nerd and I'm your host Amanda McKnight. You stay nerdy, YouTube. Alright, let's talk about one more thing before I leave today. Empyre. This crazy Marvel event. I don't want to say launch. It wasn't like Empyre issue 1, but it was like the ramp up. 17 members from each race were placed on the blue area. Race? Species? Race.